Have you ever imagined a living creature that would swim thousands of kilometers, fight against a raging river current, and break through a ring of predators all around, just to return to the place where it was born? It doesn't make sense, does it? But it's true, and the culprit is the salmon. In the animal kingdom, instincts often leave us shaking our heads in disbelief. We humans may have common sense, but honestly, some animals possess superpowers that defy logic, and the salmon is one of the best examples of this. Unlike most other fish, which tend to stay in just one type of water, salmon seem to live in two worlds. They are anadromous fish, meaning they are born in fresh water, grow up in the ocean, and return to fresh water to spawn. It all began at the headwaters of a cold, clear river. Among the pebbles, salmon eggs hatched. As fry, they were extremely fragile. Just imagine, they had to survive the river's strong currents, fight for every scrap of food, and then hide from larger fish. In reality, many of them die before they even reach puberty. However, for the few salmon that manage to survive, the real adventure has only just begun. Once they are mature enough, their instincts tell them to do one thing: set sail for the ocean. Well, the journey to the sea is also fraught with danger. At the river's mouth, a group of predators is lying in wait. There are sea lions, herons, and even fishermen's nets. But here's the interesting part. Once they reach the ocean, the salmon's bodies naturally undergo a biological adaptation known as osmoregulation. Simply put, their bodies can adjust to tolerate salt water without causing them to become dehydrated. It is in these vast oceans that salmon roam. They feed voraciously, growing larger and stronger, and developing a beautiful silvery sheen. They spend about 2 to 7 years there, until one day, boom, a mysterious warning echoed in their minds. Their ancient instinct spoke up again, sounding the alarm. Without a map, Google Maps, or a compass, these salmon began swimming back to the river where they were born. To this day, many scientists remain puzzled. How do fish that have spent years traversing the vast oceans remember the way back to the home of their youth? Some theories suggest that they use the Earth's magnetic field, while others argue that they rely on their exceptionally keen sense of smell. One thing is certain, however: they almost never get lost. While this long journey home is far more arduous than their trip there, this time, they have to swim against a strong current to conserve energy. The salmon stopped eating entirely during the return journey. Their stomachs shrank so much, and every ounce of energy in their bodies was completely drained, just from swimming and leaping over waterfalls. The struggle was so intense that their bodies turned a fiery red as their fat reserves were completely burned up. And guess who's waiting at the top of the waterfall? Yes, a bear, a predator. For bears, salmon migration season is like an all-you-can-eat buffet. All they have to do is open their mouths, and the salmon jump right in. Many salmon die during this phase. Their bodies are injured, torn to shreds, or they die from exhaustion. But for a select few, the resilient salmon that manage to reach the headwaters finally arrive at their final destination, upstream. In the calm waters, female salmon will use their tails to build a nest, lay thousands of eggs, and be fertilized by male salmon. And their task was finally complete. Once it was all over, they were completely drained of energy. Within a matter of days, most of these adult salmon will die from sheer exhaustion. It sounds tragic, doesn't it? Yet, nature is truly magical. These dead salmon don't simply rot away. Their decomposing bodies become food for plankton and other aquatic plants. And guess who ends up eating that plankton? The newly hatched salmon fry.